All right, good morning. Actually, we're coming up on afternoon. This is Lucky Lynx. I have a very interesting situation here, and I thought I'd share it with you guys because when cases like this come up, it's kind of fascinating to look at how the numbers work and how the cards work to reflect what's happening in the situation. This is a woman who has had an illness, just came out of the hospital, and she's got a very interesting situation going on here because, and I'll show you what the interesting situation, here's the present here, which shows a recovery, okay? But I'm using this as an illustration of how the mind affects the body because those of you who have been following the videos that I put out here and know that I am a firm believer in that this is all reflective of what's going on in a person's mind. That's really what's happening here, is that we use divination when we look at a situation to see what's going on in the mind. And in Tibetan training, everything emanates from the mind, and that is the approach I take with these things, and this is a really good illustration. This is a woman who got out of the hospital. Here's a situation that shows an improvement in her health. Okay, so the 5 is a change for the lucky because we've got our clubs here, and there's a 6 of diamonds, which in this case is indicating health. Okay, 6 is the number of man, 5 is a change in the number of man, a man's health, or a woman's health in this particular case, okay? She was in the hospital, she came out, change in her health, okay? And the change is illustrated here in a new beginning, new possibility here. Okay, so it's a new chance for her to recover. A 2 would be the beginning. So this is actually a progression here, okay? 2 plus 1, these two are connected, and it feels connected to me, so I say 2 plus 1 is 3, and that indicates a, in numerology, the ability for one to stand back and see the wholeness of oneself from a place of division. So seeing that they could be whole again or healed again. This also, it's very interesting that this adds up to 5 and 6 is 11, right, which reduces to a 2 if you take out the master number piece, okay? So this results in this. So change of health, this is the change of health. This is one of the ways that you can test, is look for correspondence to test to see how the progression is happening, and a new beginning, okay? These two together create a 3, which would be the ability to see yourself in a new place, healthy and whole, should you choose to, in your mind, and say, look, I'm getting better, I want to promote this, I want to increase this health improvement and help it any way I can. So the 3 in this case would be to take care of yourself. Watch your mind, and to be able to improve what's already happening here in the change of health. So that's past to present. Now what's happening here is very interesting because it goes forward into the Jack and the Queen of Hearts. This suggests this individual not getting something that she wants. And she's moving into a place where she's going to be triggering this part, which is an actual relapse. Okay? So there's an erroneous assumption, an erroneous message she's putting in her mind at this time, passionately building it. The Queen of Hearts, passionately building it. The next step was these were the next ones I threw. So I wanted to know what that passionate message she was that she was giving herself. Because any message that we get or any message we take in, really in our minds, is one that we feed ourselves. So this is a passionate message, or a passionate completion of a cycle, entering a higher stage where you get into the queens, kings, and it sort of intensifies. The result is this, which is, now I had read on this individual when she was actually in the hospital, this was indicating mind stuff that was limiting her. In the 4s, 4 is the box. So the we're all mad here in this particular deck, I use this one to indicate feeding on whatever it is that comes up around it. So in other words, this individual is giving herself a new set of things to worry about to increase the sickness and send her back into a box state. The Joker indicates that she's actually going to fall over back into a relapse. So there's an actual change in the individual's health. The individual takes on a new assumption that is erroneous, passionately feeds it, builds it, turns it into a relapse in the future. So that's how you might look at a situation like this. In some cases, some might say, well, this looks like a total recovery, but you have to feel the intuition of it. She feels very passionately. There is a possibility that she could passionately take her own luck, because these are tricky. These are the clubs. Clubs could indicate that you bring a lucky situation to fruition, but when I look at the next set of cards, it looks to me like she very much is not going to. She's actually going to create her own relapse here by some erroneous assumption she's making here. She's actually in this moment kind of upset and angry, and I'm just going to say pissed off. And she takes that and builds it passionately into a relapse. So this is a good indication of how the mind can affect one's health and how divination can help you target these things, watch these things. And we do this because we say, okay, this is where this is headed right now. Should she become aware of this, she could change this and change the outcome here. That's why we divine, because nothing is ever set in stone until you push it to the point where you can't recover. It's not at that point here, but it looks like the tendency is to be able to bring it to a relapse. She's also, I'll give you a little secret, the Joker, she's hoping something magical comes in and takes her out of it for her so that she doesn't have to manage it herself. But it doesn't feel like from this Joker that's what's going to be the case, because, well, that's the Cheshire Cat in this case. So that's how you do it. That's how you'd look at a situation. Any questions, go ahead, put them in the comments below, and I'll do my best. Remember, what you adopt and what messages you send to your own mind and your own body passionately create an outcome in the world around you, in your body, in your experiences, and in where you're going to end up. So consider that as you move forward in life, guys. I am Lucky Lynx, wishing you success and good fortune. And again, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them.